Hello folks, and welcome to another Bitcoin market analysis by Inspocrypto. Well, today a little statement, two topics. Topic number one, I have announced I just want to bring another chapter for paid subs related to special analysis related to other assets like gold, silver, or whatever. And some of you just sent me these topics. I have these topics on a list. I will start with gold, but it will take a little bit because I started the research. It's taking more time than I thought. Making nice research results, and it's going to be a very interesting topic in my opinion to talk about gold as a separate asset, but also its correlation or at least its context to crypto, because from the political side we have a context between gold and crypto. I will talk about that in this analysis then. And the second topic is I lost one follower, Johnny from UK. I don't know, some of you know him. His profile picture was, and that's the funny part, he was wearing just a mask, where every time when I was just seeing this picture, it was like, oh, pandemic and COVID and, well, all the restrictions, so not necessarily positive. However, he sent me a tweet or just did a comment saying that he is going to unfollow me because I'm too negative. I just said thank you very much for your comment and I wish you good luck. Because he's right. I'm too negative. He's really, I mean, I agree with him 100%. So Johnny, if in case, I hope you are not, but in case you are watching this video, I agree with you. I'm too negative. But not because I have a magic box here below of my table and I think, oh, today I don't feel good, let us spread some negative news. It's because that's what we are seeing. That's what's happening. Yeah, the market looks not good at all. And yes, many things are happening that are not positive. So you did the right decision to unfollow me, because my goal as an analyst is not to entertain you. It's not to motivate you, for example, in your daily life business. It's just to figure out and to show you the truth of this market with all the context and correlations. That's the only thing. So if you feel I'm too negative, you are absolutely right. I remember some people like you who said the same last year to me. You can check the comments of my tweets from last year every time when Cointelegraph or any crypto related news just published spot ETF coming in September. And I said, that's not going to happen. And people just commented, you are negative, you are perma bear, you don't believe in crypto, you... Okay, I said just, yeah, okay, if you think, okay. Well, now, 1 year later, these guys are not just sending me a comment like, hey, Inspo, you were right. Spot ETF is not happening. Hey, you know what? You weren't that negative. You were just realistic. And I really don't care. I just want to say, if you don't feel comfortable with Inspo's content, don't try to change Inspo's content, because it's not going to happen. Just unfollow him. We have a lot of different accounts there. They will tell you how beautiful everything is, that crypto will make you billionaire overnight. Well, now it's not that easy to make this anymore, it seems, like my last retweet is showing up. But however, you will find someone else that matches better to your mind. In my opinion, to trade crypto or to trade right now in this bear market, also related to equities, you need a strong mind, a really strong stomach. Otherwise, you will spend a lot of time here and you will not make any money. And that's our goal, isn't it? I mean, was your goal to go to crypto because someone told you, hey, the crypto community is better than any social app? Or you can find your next wife there? Or boyfriend or whatever? No, you went there to make money. And I'm just providing all this information to support you to make money. But if that's not positive to you, then you have to leave. Then you have to unfollow. I mentioned many times in the past, I don't care about quantity. I just care about quality. So I was very happy with 1,000 and even 500 followers. I had more time to interact with these guys. So, 37,000 followers sounds good, but it's not making me happier than before. So just to make it clear, I mean, I love to have a feedback, even when it's sad that you are losing a follower, but it's fine. It's absolutely fine if you don't feel comfortable, because it's your time and it's your quality of life. If I'm reducing your quality of life, unfollow me. It's just, you are just, one finger away from it. So now let us go forward. Let us talk about what's happening to the Wales ratio, what's happening to flow metrics, what's happening to the future market, option market, CBDs, and so on and so forth. So I said we are going to go to 19K. They surprised me once again. We did at the end 18.2. Now lifting up just because of SPY and SPX. SPX is looking strong, at least related to the volume, but we need to see. And that's why we are now going to check the weights ratio. And what the weights ratio 30 days moving average is indicating that the whole preparation was done. They started just to realize. Just to realize the price movement, indicating that the whole thing would have just a higher sell pressure. And that's what happened actually. So we had here our preparation, then they started to realize. As always, it has a delay. That's weights ratio. Nobody is telling you when they start to distribute. That's the thing. However, it looks like, and I'm not sure if we are done yet. We are going up now, and that's fine, but we have a big and tough week front of us. We have ECB had going to speak, Lagarde. We have Jeremy Powell Friday. We have interest rate decision this week. I think it's Wednesday in the Fed. So it could be extremely volatile, something I would expect. That's something we should have in mind as well. So we can see that the weights ratio 1 hour, you remember it dumped once, where I said we should go up. It seems the whole thing was that here before we dumped afterwards, because usually in the past that happens, that such kind of dumps happen many times in a row. And then we did a bigger step to the upside. This time it was just once, where I indicate we need to be careful, because it seems that whales are just preparing the next move up. And also I mentioned we need to be very careful because it could go down afterwards, just because these guys love to make the move up before they dump afterwards, because they are looking for an upper price level. However, we can see that the waste ratio 30 hours moving average declined. It's lifting up right now. So that's also why I think maybe we are not done. And we can go even more to the downside, but it takes time because everything will depend on SPY, SPX, and so on and so forth, and DXY, of course. So for DXY, that's going to be a very exciting week just because of the whole monetary policy decisions we will have in the US, but also in the EU. So if we take a look here, we can see the yellow line is indicating the stablecoin reserves on centralized exchanges. Flat, not happening. Nothing is happening here, but it correlates at the same time, and that's very interesting, with the stablecoin supply. That's here, as you see, the blue line. So that's here declining. If we check, for example, here, the stablecoin reserves on centralized exchanges also declining, correlates very well. On derivative exchanges, and that's the purple line here, it's the opposite. It's lifting up. It's exactly the opposite. So yeah, at the moment, waste ratio 1 hour maintains at 94, so indicating that whales are distributing the way up, and that's fine, something that's usual. We need to see how far SPY, SPX can go, because at the moment it looks like that SPY is once again not capable just to break the 387. The only thing we know that it seems that 382 is at the moment a great support. So, but doesn't mean we can't go down again, and we need to be very careful here. Let us go forward. So, flow activity, it looks big, but it isn't, because you remember we received here almost 12,000 bitcoins. Then the whole thing here, the activity looks extremely flat. And yeah, I agree, it is flat. I mean, the maximum we received were 2,300 bitcoins, and we all know who was responsible for the whole thing. But of course, you are not going to dump such a market with 2,300 bitcoins. Only if you sell them at once, it can have an impact to the price. However, and that's why I'm mentioning many times, they are accumulating. They have accumulated on exchanges. We don't know how much, but they have, and they use different channels to sell. So not only different exchanges, but at the same time multiple channels, like for example OTC, where we can't track. We just see some activity, fund flows, but that's it. We don't know if that means that these guys are buying, selling, whatever. We really don't know. So we can just check if the activity to OTC correlates with any price action. That's the only thing. So that's not big at all, and it looks much more than, hey, they sent all these bitcoins to dump. It looks more like they sent all these bitcoins to distribute the way up, while they used, it seems, bitcoins just to dump before they were just accumulated on centralized exchanges. That's something where I think that market maker entities like to do. They use Bitcoin as Bitcoin collateral for their long, short futures, whatever, to make more Bitcoins, to accumulate these Bitcoins on centralized exchanges, to dump them. I mean, that's a smart way to hide their operations. We can't track that. We really can't. So yeah, nothing special here. Even if we check, for example, we don't see any big stablecoin inflow or outflow. Also here, really strange what's happening. why they are not really withdrawing big amounts of stablecoins at the moment. That's worrying me a little bit, but maybe would also match with the expectations we are not done yet. So we can go up and to go down later on again. We need to see. So what we see, last time we were here, that was the funding rate. We lifted up in funding rate, then they started to dump and the funding rate declined a lot, really a lot, indicating people are demanding more short, something we need to check because we also have blockchain whispers, at least for Binance. It's showing us how the balances on longs and shorts looks like on Binance. However, also here, stablecoin related to derivative exchanges, and even here, Bitcoin related to derivative exchanges, not looking great at all. Absolutely not. Less activity, less volume. And that matches very well to the open interest that it declined a lot, really much more than before. And the leverage ratio is maintaining a level. I mean, compared to other years, of course, still too high, but the open interest is the big problem here, in my opinion. If we check here, we can see what they are doing. I mean, they liquidated a lot of longs. They started here with 534 bitcoins, then here another 1540 bitcoins, then here another 1400 bitcoins, and here another 600 bitcoins. So if we accumulate all them, I would say they liquidated something like almost 4000 bitcoins in just in just 5 to 6 hours. That's not bad. Right now, just liquidating the way up some shorts, but if we check here, at the moment, 333 bitcoins, and here another 187 bitcoins. So while the leverage, while the funding rate is declining, so yeah, funding rate declining, open interest lifting up, and leverage ratio maintaining that level here. That's what it looks like. So I guess even they are demanding more shorts, it seems that more longs are, or more longs, but more longs coming, more shorts are they requesting and demanding. So we have more shorts in general. That's what they are placing, but still they are demanding also longs. And we need to see how the whole thing looks like. You can see here in a very simple view on Binance how the funding rate was, going up again, then it declined, it went up, and then it declined hard after the price dumped, and the open interest was recovering and it started to decline again, even if it's going up. And you see here the leverage ratio. So I'm not sure if the main goal here is also to bring the leverage ratio down again. I'm really not sure about that. But however, we can see here in a very easy way what they are doing. Funding rate was here, back to, I wouldn't say to the top, but almost to the top, and then it started to decline again when the price started to stall. So where many were just expecting, okay, we are going down. So on Binance, right now it looks a little bit better than before. Yesterday I closed the PC and we had almost 1.7 billion in longs and 500, I don't remember anymore, in shorts. So shorts are coming while longs, we have less longs, but we had almost 1.5 billion this morning. It seems it lifted up a little bit. Long short ratio just still too bearish in my opinion, indicating we still have much more longs on Binance pending. Even here on Ethereum right now, the whole thing flipped. So also here, people are expecting to go up first. We will see how that works. Also interesting is on Bitfinex, 200 million in longs disappeared. You remember I was telling that in my last video? Look, Bitfinex longs are lifting up again. Well, it seems not more because they got liquidated, I guess. So let us take a look to the Kingfisher. Can I spin? Can I get blue this time, please? Oh no. Let us try at least once. No, we will try just once. Blue, blue, blue. Oh no. Okay, let us start again. Come on. We don't have time. Oh yeah, okay. So Binance. Let us start with Binance. Takes a little bit. And Binance indicating we could go up to 19.5 and even 20,000 just to liquidate these shorts here, because on the long side we need to push down very hard. We have here a cluster and we have here another cluster. So if we check now the volume, 40 millions. It's almost the half of that what we had last week. And that was extremely low, 70 millions. So let us check what FTX is doing. Takes just a few minutes. Few days. No. So, and wow. So we, oh my god. What is happening to FTX? Is FTX dying or something? They don't have any volume anymore here? What? I'm not sure if Kingfisher is working fine, to be honest. I really can't imagine that on FTX we don't have any big liquidation cluster. I mean, what does that mean here? $180,000? $1,800 doesn't make any sense. I really don't know how that works here. Current price 4,000. Oh yeah, okay, that's the delta. Well, the structure is the same like on Binance. We just don't know what that means. It's 1.7 millions or whatever. Anyway, if that's just 1.7 millions and we had just 17 millions last Saturday, where I was wondering because that's extremely low. Well, what should I say? I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. And that matches very well to the activity chart related to centralized exchanges I have tweeted today. Because everything is just going lower, lower, lower. Spot activity, lower, lower, lower. Derivative exchanges, lower, lower, lower. That's worst case. So let us talk about option trading, what's happening there. We can see on the put side we have this range, of the call side we have this range. So it's shifting a little bit. We have a range for puts on the gamma side between 17 and 20k, while on the call side 20k to 24k. 25 is almost disappearing. I would say the whole concentration on the call side is between 20k and 22k. So 20k to go up to break, it's going to be a challenge. We need some volume for that. As we know, it's not impossible, but it takes a little bit. So on the gamma side, on the GAG side, after, and you remember, hopefully, we were just Saturday at minus 5,000, where I said, it's neutral. We can go even more to the downside. So it's not indicating us we will go up directly because of that. We need an extreme, minus 50,000, minus 40,000, or on the top, for example, 50, 60, 70,000, and then usually the market starts to flip. I'm using here the 6-month range, so it's still indicating here an index price, Bitcoin price of 18.5. Even we are right now trading at 19.2, so it went up, but here at 18.5 it was indicating a gags of minus 42. So we are reaching the extreme, the negative extreme that usually flips the market again to go up. So usually, taking into account that we are at 19.2 at the moment, I would think that we have some space to the downside, but more to the upside. So just to make it clear. Related to option trading, I would say bull call spread, bear call spread, and bull put spread, all three. I mean, bear diagonal spread with puts, it's usually something, bearish. So we can make a quick analysis or just look to the bear diagonal spread. The bear diagonal spread has an ideal situation. It's when the Bitcoin price remains unchanged and only goes down and below the strike price of the put sold when the long-term put expires. So if we take a look here, it means that they were expecting at least a price above of 16K, 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 60K, and even here, for example, 15K. So, or in that, in that case, 18K, 18K, 18.5, and so on and so forth. But something where we need to maintain that price range between 15K and 18.5. And that's also indicating here that some traders are expecting or could expect even more moves to the downside. And that's at least what they are expecting related to this strategy. So if we go forward and we take a look for the next one, that will be the bull call spread. And the bull call spread is just a very neutral. I mean, the bull is telling you that they are expecting a bullish price action, but something without any big sharp price move. So to make the maximum profit with this strategy, the Bitcoin price has to be at or above the strike price of the short call at expiration. If we take a look here, it means 20K, 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 even here 22K until end of September. But if we take a look, what would be the biggest one? I think that's the biggest one here. Yeah, it's the biggest one. They are indicating here that they would see a price, now in that case even 21K. So a price above of 21K until end of the year. So yeah, I would match to that. I would say, yeah, I agree. If we take a look to more, it's not one strategy, that's one trade it seems, but also not big. End of September above of 20K. So go up again. I mean, we still have 2 weeks. Yeah, why not? I mean, it's possible. If we go forward, we will check the next one would be the bear call spread, and the bear call spread is going to be a little bit, it's bigger, much bigger, almost from the volume the double. And the bear call spread is exactly indicating the opposite of the bull call. The bull call, as the name it's telling you it's more bullish. The bear call spread, it's more bearish, but also here indicating that the trader is not expecting a bigger price move. Also here, just to make its maximum profit, the Bitcoin price has to be at or below the strike price of the short call, so with a lower strike. So below, if we take a look here, we can check what's the biggest one. That would be the biggest one here. It's indicating until September 23rd. That will be next week expiry. He is expecting a price below of 18.5. So also indicating we will go more down. For end of October, it looks a little bit different because he is expecting here, for example, a price below of 24K, below of 24K. And well, I mean, that was from today. Here is someone expecting a price until tomorrow below of 19K. But it's not big. I mean, if I check here, for example, the premium volume, it's not big at all. The only one, the biggest one here, is this here. Let me show you here. This one here, it's indicating until next week expiry we will see a price below 18.5. At least that's what this trader is expecting. So, and then next one is the bull put spread. And the bull put spread, oh yeah, we have here something. Oh yes, I like. We have here, that's a bigger volume, for example. And also here the bull put spread, for example, is the same like the bull call spread, but just with puts instead of calls. Also bullish. At least he is expecting also a softly bullish price action. So neutral to bullish price action, not indicating we are going to go up for the, I don't know, 5K or something, maybe 1K, 1.5 or something. And also here, just to realize the maximum profit, the Bitcoin price has to be above the strike price of the short put with a higher strike. So above means above of 19K until end of October, something I also would agree here. If we check what will be the next one also here, and end of October, 19K, 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 well, I mean 17K. Yeah, I agree. I don't think then after September we will go even more down, more down, more down. It's a process. And in my opinion, we are done for this year. In my opinion, we will not form a lower low, a lower bottom than we created this year. But just because I think we are not going to fire the whole ammo we have, because yeah, now you can say I'm too negative. I don't care, but yeah, it's going to be a challenge in the next years. And so if we are going to make 10, 11,000 this year, my question is, what's going to happen then 2023, 2024? I mean, you know, but maybe in that case, I'm just too bullish, like last time where I said, hey, 19K, let us see if we go to 19K. And they surprised me. I said last year, we will see 24K. They surprised me. So it seems even sometimes I'm very bearish. I'm just too bullish for this market, still too bullish. However, let us go forward and check what the CBDs are doing. So let us start and check what's happening here. Well, first of all, we see that FTX started, it seems to have more bullish orders than bearish, so people buying more than selling, and that would also explain why the price is going up. Of course, we need to check all others as well, but they distributed very well, as you can see. And that's the thing I'm saying always. They are distributing more than before, and that's why I say they buy and then distribute even more. So if that was the CBD in the beginning, afterwards it's here, indicating they distributed more. And that's the thing. I mean, all these fake rallies, it seems it has just one goal: to distribute even more. And that's the difference to last year, because they played the same game. Fake rallies, okay, they bought and then they distributed. So, meaning the gap between both was the accumulation. And that's what happened last year, and that's the big change between now, this year, and last year. So instead of doing the same, they are doing that here, and the gap is negative, indicating they are selling more than buying. And that's not bullish at all. Absolutely not. Even I know I have tweeted today about both charts, where it seems that big orders were triggered and they are purchasing the dips at the moment. That happened in the past. Afterwards, we lifted up to 25k to distribute, and then we declined again. That's the big question, if that's going to happen again. Would be nice, to be honest, but we need to see. However, that's what on FTX is happening. At the moment, doesn't look solid to me. So if we take a look here, that's Binance. Binance at the moment not really buying big. Also here, for example, at the moment, at least on Binance, we can see they started here with a negative CBD, they pushed up, and here, for example, we can see at least yet, and the question is if that is going to maintain, that the CBD since here has a positive gap. If we check, for example, Bitfinex, well, I mean, Bitfinex did once again a very strange thing. They purchased here at 20k and they started to dump at 19.5. Looks strange, it is strange, but that's usually the institutional stamp. It's indicating they don't care. It's much more a strategy they have in mind. That's much more an investment. They do a short-term one. They know, okay, it's going to be a negative trade for us. We are not going to make any money in case they are just selling this spot without to short at the same time. And I think that's what they are doing. They are selling spot, and at the same time going short. So to neutralize this trade, this negative trade then, because they are not going to make any profit then. If we take a look to Coinbase, we see what Coinbase is doing, also something very interesting. So here, just lifting up in CBD, then decline, maintaining right now. If we take a look through the 30 minutes, of course, it looks, once again, very bullish. Even if it's not really big what they are doing here, but it's just crazy what they are doing, really crazy. So that's it from here. If we take a look to the entities, we see that retailers are still bullish. Also, these guys here with less than 10 bitcoins are bullish. They are still accumulating. This guy's maintaining a level at the moment. This guy's here, once again, just making quick profit trades. I don't know why this entity is always doing the same. Market maker entities looks really crazy. I mean, once again, reduced by 10,000 bitcoins. We are now at 4,890,000. And that matches very well to what I said just a few minutes ago with, the CBD, with this gap. That's what they are doing. While I know that entities are also sending Bitcoins to derivative exchanges, indicating they are using those kind of ways to neutralize the potential loss. So they are distributing. It seems that's the main goal. Okay, I purchase and then I sell, but I sell more than I purchased before. That's the difference between that here and that here, because that's what they are doing now. Here it was the opposite. They just purchased, fake rally, and sold. Purchased and sold. Purchased and sold. So that was the accumulation. That was the gap. At the moment, it looks completely different. What they are doing is we purchase, we sell. We purchase, we sell, and so on and so forth. So we don't have an accumulation, we have a distribution, and that's what's happening here. And that's the problem I see. They are more in distribution mode. They are not in accumulation mode. They accumulate quick. They maintain even those Bitcoins on centralized exchanges to dump afterwards. Afterwards, I mean, after they pushed up again. And that's what's happening. So entities mostly related to centralized exchanges, as you can see also here lifting up, makes sense because these guys are declining. Also here, nice correlation. If you check those here, this part here, you can see the correlation very well. So these guys interacting. So these guys declining balances, these guys lifting up imbalances, and so on and so forth. Let us go forward and we can see what the market maker entities did. We had here 1,992 Bitcoin fund flow, then here another 1,387 Bitcoins, then here another 720. Then they stopped, usually indicating they want to distribute the way up. So also here, very interesting what they are doing and still not looking very bullish. Let us go forward. We can check miners, for example. No, miners went down very well. That's my graphic, my chart, because that looks horrible in my opinion. Yeah. And once again, what's happening, and that matches very well to what I have said, the centralized reserves, the Bitcoin reserves on centralized exchanges are lifting up once again, while on derivative is declining at the same time. The question is if they are right now just shifting Bitcoins from derivative to spot exchange. It's not big at all. I mean, at the moment we are talking here about almost 4,000 Bitcoin more than before, so it's not big. Of course, we don't know if at the same time we had bigger withdrawals. Well, we can check that. Oops. And no, 600 here, 300 here, 700 here, and so on and so forth. So while, and that's the problem, so it seems they didn't sell at all at that moment. They are still sending Bitcoins to spot exchanges, and that explains why the spot exchange, their Bitcoin reserves are lifting up. So that makes absolutely very sense. Let us go forward. So, what's happening here on Coinbase? Well, they placed here a wall at 22K, but it's really low. The next bigger wall would be at 18K, then of course 17.5, and so on and so forth. Also interesting, they removed the wall here at 49 and shifted, it seems, the wall to 14. So, interesting why they are doing that. Not sure why. But also interesting here, the big red candle also related to Coinbase, while the volume delta only was 146 Bitcoins. So if I take a look to the others, I mean, for example, here we had here a volume delta of 230 if you compare both. So yeah, it makes sense. Coinbase more on the buy side than on the sell side, it seems. Deribit. Remove the wall here, 20,000, what was that? 20,840. And still here, we need to reduce a lot. But as you can see here as well, we have okay, they are removing here now some sell orders, but you see even here between 23 and so on and so forth, a lot of sell orders, and even here we can see a lot of buy orders. For example, right now here at 18, between 18,000 and 18,500. The next big one would be at 17.2, and then really everything below 16 starts to have a bigger volume. So also very interesting. But yeah, I mean, Deribit not showing big volume at all. These guys here removed the wall at 22k. Instead they shifted a little bit higher, 22,200, so they could repeat what they did in the past. We could go up to 22,000, could be possible, but at the same time you see here also what they did. A lot of volume between I would say, let me check, between 17.6 and 13. So why to lock the liquidity there? Is that a message to the whales? Hey, we are not going to let you go down that much? Or is that more the expectation, hey, I'm waiting here, I just want to buy the dip? Not sure, really not sure. So let us go forward. Binance Spot. Well, also here, that was my expected bottom in case we will go down, as mentioned just Saturday, and we went even more down. And now it seems it wants to retest. It retested here. Now it's failing to go even more up. So it looks like we need to see, but I think everything depends a little bit on SPY. It looks like a little bit that if we break this, we will go down even more. So maybe retesting that area of 18,200 or something. So we need to see what's going to happen here at 19k first, if it could maintain or even bounce and go up and then retest that area of 19.6 before we can go even more up. That's something we need to see. But also here you can see they removed a lot of volume at 25k. They removed the wall here 21,800, and we just have a lot of liquidity to the downside. They reinforced here at 14k. They reinforced here at 15.6, and so on and so forth. So we will see. We really need to see what's going to happen here. It doesn't look that great. Bitfinex Spot. So Bitfinex Spot at the moment limiting the way up mainly at 21k. We also see here a lot of sell orders waiting there, and much more than to the downside. To the downside, they are just waiting here at 16k. That's the biggest one with 100 Bitcoin. I mean, that's not big, but that's Bitfinex. And otherwise, everything below 17.5. So the biggest wall at the moment, new placed, or it seems reinforced at 17.5. Reinforced since this morning, even after the dump. The question is why? Why to do that if you're not expecting that the price could go down? So everything could be at the end a dead cat bounce before we go down even more. Just to have that in mind as well. Let us go next to FTX Perp. FTX Perp. Also here we have the liquidity between 17 and 15.5 at the moment. They triggered some buy orders, some longs here, and also some shorts. They removed a lot of volume at 20k. Right now shifted to 20,200. Also here remove the walls, for example, nothing big happening. They placed here some longs at 16.5, so long orders. We need to see if they are going to trigger them. Let me check more. OKEX, nothing. Kraken Spot waiting at 18, and they placed new walls between 17 and 16.5. Nothing big to the upside. 20,200. Bitmax, also here cluster between 21 and 21,600, but mainly if we check, even here reinforced at 13.3, or they placed even at 12,400, and even here, for example, at 11,500, they place some liquidity. Yeah. So the next wall here would be at 17.2. Binance Futures, we see they also here they place new walls between 14, so almost 15 to 13, and a lot of long orders waiting here at 8k. Oh, that's crazy. Just imagine we would from here just go directly to 8k. That would be, I think that's going to go, yeah, directly. Everyone will talk about that. So 22,700 here, a lot of order volume here, and also here until 20k. So between 17.5 and 20k, a lot of activity happening. At the moment they want really just to, it seems they reduced a little bit the order, but it seems they want to limit it the way up at 18.8 at the moment. So make a retest of our lower trend line. Bitfinex derivatives, limiting the way up at 18k, so waiting with long orders there, and a lot between 16.2 and 16, and that's it. Kraken Futures, nothing. OKEX Futures, nothing. And FTX Spot removed some volume at 20,300, but still there. Reinforced its wall at 16.2. Also here you can see they shifted from here to here. Another wall placed at, and that's a new one, at 15k at 14.6, and nothing to the upside. No. So as you can see, all that just shifted more to the downside. That's it. Well, let's just talk about my personal conclusion. So let us talk about the next opportunities. At the moment, I see more the opportunity to go up than to go down. Even everything looks more to the downside, to be honest. Just to make it clear. If we lose 18k, and I mean, we are right now, I mean, finally, it seems, if they are not going to make the same bear trap like last time. You remember I have said, well, we can go up, then we will go down, and then we need to see what's going to happen to 19.5. They protected 19.5 many times just before, like here, for example. Then they pushed up very hard, like here, for example. They did that here as well. They did almost the same like last time, only that we just went this time a little bit lower. Just last time was almost 18.5, now we did 18.2. However, they protected, they know that 18k could be, it's, I mean, after 18k we don't have anything anymore. We don't have anything. We should then directly go to 15,350. So, and what happened after 15,350? Because at least on volume profile, that would be something where we can say, hey, even if we retest and we go down, what will happen here, Well, just in case, afterwards we still have 13.6 and 13, and afterwards only 11. So we need to see, but in my opinion, if these guys are not going to make the same like last time and to push up very hard, because in my opinion that's not a double bottom, but however, then it's going to be a challenge. If we start to go like Goldman Sachs said, hey, equities will make another 26% crash, then it's obvious that we will visit that area here. At the moment, I think, and it takes time, and we have time. I mean, this week is going to be even worse than the last ones, because the whole market is very sensitive right now to the FOMC, what Lagarde is going to say, what Powell is going to say, and so on and so forth. So, in my opinion, we should go up. We should retest 19.5. After 19.5, we should go once again to our comfortable range of 20,000, 20,500, and maintain here maybe, and then go down again. That's something that would be on the table in my opinion. That's something I have in mind, and I would start to trade that. I'm not going to trade the weekend, but in case that's going to happen this week, at the moment I'm longing and shorting, but with little funds just to see, because I did some just hedging at the moment right now, just hedging, taking profit. I took profit from my short, now I took profit from my long, then again placed a new long, and so on. I'm generating some fees for Bitget at the moment, so much more. Making some profit, but nothing big. And waiting for a clear signal that at the moment I'm still missing, just because, of course, of SPY, DXY, and so on and so forth. Even I think DXY will go down a little bit more, so I can imagine to go down first to retrace to 109, for example, 109.2, or even 109. That could give us enough time and could push us a little bit more to the upside, indicating we could go and retest that area again. That's at the moment the last thing we have before the ship goes really, it will sink. Something I'm still not expecting. I'm still not expecting it. I can imagine just, to make a bear trap and then go up again, but it's, I mean, as mentioned just before, maybe I'm still just too bullish, but the next years is going to be hell. Yeah, too negative, unfollow me, I don't care. But it's really going to be hell. Inflation will rise even more, interest rates will rise even more, and then at a certain moment we will see that inflation is declining because the whole monetary system policy is taking effect to the economy, and then they maybe, if they see that the inflation is declining in a pace that could be a problem for the Fed and for the ECB to maintain and to reach this 2%, they will start with pivot. We are not going to start with that before, so something that could happen until end of the year. At the moment, I feel we are still on track. I'm still bullish for the beginning of 2023 and still bearish for the second half of 2023. So yeah, we need to see. But in my opinion, we will go up, maintain here, and play around. Maybe go in few days a little bit more to the downside. We will see. Even the market doesn't look very strong at the moment. I would not expect from here to break the 18K. Would be crazy if we do that and then go directly to 15.3. But many factors say that could happen. Exchange walls, we see some option traders, so we need to be very, very careful here. Sorry. And we are done. We are absolutely done for today. Let us take a look. 1 day time frame here. So we went from here last time. We did 17.6. So a bear trap, and to make a double bottom and then go up would make sense. But however, I mean, look what they did. We just that's really crazy, and it's taking time. I mean, since mid of June, what they did, we went up, we break this channel, we tried to recover, we failed, and we went down. And that's so bearish. We really need to be extremely, to trade with, and to be extremely careful because it looks so bearish. However, trade carefully. We will see us tomorrow. Big love, your Inspo.